My boyfriend's mom is so controlling, and it's destroying our relationship. My boyfriend and I, both in our 20s, have been dating for 2 years now. For most of our relationship, his mom and I got along. I listened to her problems, helped her around the house, spent time with the family, and tried to be as respectful as possible. The issue started when my boyfriend got kicked out of our house after a heated argument. She told him she doesn't want him in her life and never wants to see his face again. He stayed with me for a while, and not even a week later when he signed a lease on an apartment, she became heavily involved in his living situation. She was helping with the cost of furniture, renovating things that needed to be, and even put down a down payment for him. And of course, he didn't object. At first I thought it was good because they were repairing their relationship, but now it feels like she has influence over every decision in his life and our relationship. We had talked for a long time about eventually moving in together. I was never against the idea. Recently, however, my parents made plans to move back to the country I'm living in. Because of that, I told my boyfriend that I wanted to spend time living with my parents before making a major financial commitment and moving in with him. According to him and his mother, it was unacceptable. Since then, his mom has become openly hostile towards me. When he first moved in, he invited me to sleep by his place 3 times a week, and everything was going great. A few days ago, his mother demanded I pay them nearly $200 a month if I wanted to sleep at the apartment 3 times a week. They claimed it was to help with bills. I told him absolutely no way will I be paying his bills for him for sleeping in a bed. He invited me in. So we concluded that I'd sleep 2 days a week once my parents moved here. At this point, his mom didn't like that I disagreed with her and started making sure I felt unwelcome in his home. A few days ago, I was using his shower and noticed that the towel I used wasn't in its usual spot. I realized that his mom was at the apartment not long before and figured she just took it to wash it. He handed me a new one, and all was fine, until he asked her why my towel wasn't there. She told him she doesn't allow me to use any item that she owned. I also wasn't allowed to leave anything of mine in his apartment, which included clothing, makeup, soaps, toothbrushes, perfumes, etc. I would have to carry my stuff around between cities every time I wanted to spend the night, including towels and blankets. I hit my breaking point when I also noticed my $400 boots were not where I put them. She had bagged them up in a plastic grocery bag, and when asked why, she told us it was in the way. He had just moved in, so the closet was nearly empty, and my shoes were on the bottom in the corner with nothing surrounding it. At this point, it felt as though she was trying to imply that I was filthy. I cried myself to sleep that night, and my boyfriend called his mom to confront her. She was so offended that he was defending me that she decided to stop helping him with half of the rent on the apartment. It's upsetting because she's the one who chose the apartment and knows it's more than what he can afford alone. He's now upset with me, asking me to move in with him sooner than I financially planned. I told him I couldn't live in an apartment that had his mom's name on the lease. If she can decide that I need to pay his bills, because I sleep there a couple nights a week, then she can also decide that I owe her half of the down payment and the cost of the renovations. I said I will only move in with him if it was in a different location and with no parent involvement whatsoever. He didn't like that answer, and neither did she. My boyfriend's brother was reserving an NBA all-star jacket for me, selling it to me for the original price. I wanted to wait to pay for it in cash until he flew over here in July, and I saw it for myself. In his mother's words, she wanted to punish me, told her son not to sell me the jacket at all, even though I offered to pay the retail price. It is a sold-out jacket that I cannot find anywhere else, so I am devastated. And she knows it. Both brothers admitted that it was uncalled for her to do it, but they are afraid to go against her. What hurts the most about all of this is that nobody seems to care how I feel. His family thinks I'm wrong because we've been together for 2 years and I'm not immediately moving in. I feel like I'm constantly being painted as the villain because I want a few months to breathe and spend time with my family. I love him so much that this hurts me so much. I'm so exhausted and drained. Am I being unreasonable for not wanting to help him out with bills?